Hello, my name is Matthew Marshall and this is my presentation for my Channel 4 idents. Now, the brief. The brief I was given is I'm working for Channel 4 and I've been allocated a project to create a stop motion ident. I now need to set my pre-production by gathering research before planning the final design concept. The ident theme will be stop motion. Based on British foods, will feature the Channel 4 logo and will reflect the British seasons. Now, what is this pitch about? Well, this pitch is my opportunity to present to you the idents I've created and the research I've took to improve my idents. So, my first initial designs. This is my first one, squares. All of my initial designs meet the needs of the brief because, like I said before, they all are based on British foods, stop motion, and feature the Channel 4 logo, as well as reflecting the British seasons. This is my second ident, circles, and my inspiration for all of these idents is tradition. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean what people take part in during the season, such as pumpkin carving and eating chocolate at Easter. And here is my third initial designs, drinks. So how did I gather my research? Well, I used focus groups, questionnaires, and secondary research. The focus groups I gathered by collecting 3 people and doing a step-by-step interview with them around idents and my idents. The questionnaires I created on Google Drive and shared them out with family and friends to try and get different age groups and different genders. The secondary research I mostly gathered from the BARB website, also known as the Broadcasters Audience Research Report. So, the focus groups. The first focus group, the age differences, where there was 18, 17 and 17. This is a bias for the ages. The gender differences, they were all male, which is also a bias. And the demographic differences, they were all in the E category, or also students, which is also a bias. Their general attitude towards idents was that they found them quite boring if they're only informational and not really fun to watch if they're not entertaining. So what did they like about my idents? Well, they loved the inclusion of the Channel 4 logo that I had primarily focused on in my designs. But what did they think could be improved? Well, they said there could be more in-depth descriptions, but also the idents could be too short to fill out the usual ident time. Now, my second focus group, their age differences was 18, 18 and 17, which again is another bias. And the gender differences, they were all male, so again it is a bias. And the demographic differences, they were all working class this time, which is still a bias. Their general attitude toward idents was that they paid attention to them after they started learning about them, but beforehand they didn't really focus on them at all, which could mean that idents could be a bit more grabbing towards the audience. But what did they like about my idents? Well, people said they were very creative and enjoyable ideas, and it also shows the ideology of Channel 4. But what could be improved? People, like the last focus group, said there could be more information, such as upcoming TV, schedules, stuff like that. Now I will go through my questionnaires. I will be saying the name of the question and the top answer in all of them. So, what is your age? Top answer was 15 to 20. What is your social class? Lower middle class. What is your gender? Male. What is your highest level of education? A level. What device do you preferably watch channels on? TV. What suit do you like more? The squares. On the suit you have chosen, which of the 4 designs do you like the most? This was a mix between autumn and winter. Do you commonly pay attention to TV idents? No. Do you think idents should be more informational or entertaining? People said entertaining. Do you think food is a great idea to use in idents? People said yes. What channel do you watch the most? Channel 4. And what time of day do you prefer to watch channels? People said the afternoon or night. Now, my secondary research was mostly gathered from BARB, like I said earlier. And as you can see, on the right, the table on the right shows me the viewing times for Prime TV. And I worked this out to be about 7 or 8 PM every day. That is when the top shows are shown, usually, and most people are watching it at that time. On the graph on the left, you can see the Channel 4 audience statistics. Now, primarily these consist of people aged 55 plus, working class and female. So why was this research necessary, and how will it help me construct my final idea? Well, all of this research was necessary because it gives me insight into the demographic audience I will be targeting with my ident designs. It also helps me improve my ident, so they will be much more enjoyable, much more attention-grabbing to the audience. But would I redo my research if I had more time and money? Yes I would. Primarily the focus groups. Although they were very useful to me, there was a lot of biases involved with the focus groups, primarily being the age bias and the gender bias. But on the other hand, the questionnaires I found were very useful because I managed to exclude biases and have a very wide range of ages and different genders. So the changes that I made, looking through the feedback I have received from my primary research, I decided to make two changes. Using the squares ident, because that was everyone's favourite, and making the idents a bit more informational. So here is my finished product. It is the squares ident, but this time it will include a voiceover saying what channel is next. For example, next on is the show that makes us all hungry, The Great British Bake Off. That's the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, please go on.
Excellent. Okay, thank you, Matthew. That was really good. Well done. So, in terms of your results that you got from your questionnaire, what did you find most useful?
The ones I found most useful was learning the different demographics of people, but also learning which idents they enjoyed the most, which was the squares ident.
And which question, if you could change a question on your questionnaire, would you change and why? I would change, do people commonly pay attention to TV ident? Because I found that out during my focus group and it didn't really need to be on the questionnaire. Right, excellent. And you said that you did have some issues, you found your secondary research a little bit more useful. What do you think you could do if you had more money or time to improve the methods and to make the methods maybe more reliable or reach a wider target audience?
Well, like I said earlier, I would include different genders because I only had males in my focus group, and I would also include different age groups, so people ranging in the 50 to even younger people, below 10.
Excellent, thank you, great.